Good morning, students. So this is with continuation of index numbers 5-mark problems which are frequently asked questions, right? So far we had completed 10-mark questions. In how many ways the question can be asked, from which area, I mean like what kind of method would be asking for 10 marks, and then all the 5-mark questions we have seen so far: weighted and unweighted, geometric and arithmetic mean, average of relatives, and then some more 5-mark problems we have seen only when Fishers is asked, proving the TRT FRT, why Fishers index number is called as an ideal index in terms of the problems, that is also nothing but proving TRT and FRT, right? So now the next question, frequently asked question, is compute Kelly's price index number for the following data. So as you all know that Kelly's price index number, look at the formula there, P01 K equals to summation P1 Q by summation P0 Q multiplied by 100. Now here what do you mean by Q? See, generally this formula, this Kelly's formula, named after Truman L. Kelly. The name is Truman, Truman, Truman L. Kelly. Requires the weights to be fixed for all the periods. See, so far we have seen last payers method, there they have taken the weights as a base year quantities, past years, current year quantities, so in the Kelly's index number, here the quantities are used fixed for all the periods. So here the quantity Q, that's why you just see that neither base nor current we have taken their Q. Like last payers how the Q0 and past years how Q1 we have taken as weights. And here in Kelly's, neither base nor current, just only we have taken Q. What does it mean Q? Q is fixed for the base as well as current periods. Clear? So it is fixed for the base as well as current periods. Right? And look at the formula there. P01 K equals to Kelly's price index number, that is equals to summation P1 Q by summation P0 Q multiplied by 100. So this is the formula. According to that formula, first and foremost we need to take down the notations. So under the price 2010 and 2012, so therefore that will become P0 and this 2012 will become P1. P0 and P1, and the quantities consumption, see there they did not mention any year there, just observe. So that is the only hint where the Kelly's index number only Q should be taken. See, it is neither 2010 nor 2012, just they have taken it as for both the periods quantities consumption, common consumption, fixed consumptions, right? So Q 20, 15, 10, 25 they have given. So according to the formula, what do you need to calculate now? P1Q, just multiplying 10 into 20, 16 into 15, 9 into 10, 11 into 25, and then calculate that P1Q total. And 2012 is a P1 and the Q here. So 12 into 20, 18 into 15, 10 into 10, 14 into 25. So that is P0 Q. Right, so P1 Q is 12, 20, 18, 15, 10, 10, 14, 25. P0 Q means 10, 20, 16, 15, 9, 10 and 11, 25. So this way P1 Q and P0 Q, both the totals you need to calculate, and those totals are to be substituted in the known formula, which is price index numbers Kelly is equals to summation P1 Q by summation P0 Q multiplied by 100. So after calculating this, how much percentage is being increased from base to current has to be increased or decreased from base to current has to be written as a conclusion. So this is the problem of Kelly's. It's a straight question. Okay, there is no like twisting one or any indirect kind of question or any merging, nothing of that sort. It's a straight away question 5 marks question. Compute Kelly's price index number. But one thing that be careful and be very cautious. Kelly's price index number it is given. That's why I underlined Kelly's price. Okay, if it is asked quantity means what would be the formula? Q01K equals to summation Q1P by summation Q0P multiplied by 100, where P is a fixed for all the base and current periods. Am I clear? So this is the problem of Kelly's. Just have a look once again, everybody. Just P0 and P1 are given. Only quantities are given, neither base nor current. Only quantities. Q fixed for all the periods, both base and current. So according to that notations, P0, P1 and Q. So according to the formula, P1Q and P0Q, multiply each other and then find out the totals and substitute in the known formula, that is Kelly's price index number equals to summation P1Q by summation P0Q multiplied by 100. So this is how the Kelly's method has to be calculated. So table carries 2 marks, formula carries 1 mark, and the complete conclusion with the substitutions and all 2 marks. So totally it carries 5 marks. Am I clear? So let us see the next 5 mark question, frequently asked question in the previous examinations, in the final examinations. So let us see the next one. Yes, coming to the next method, compute consumer price index number using aggregative expenditure method. So first and foremost, what is consumer price index number? Nothing but cost of living index number. So generally, as we say the definition, a cost met by specified group of people, class of people, in purchasing their basket of goods and services. So this is the apt definition for the cost of living index number. Another name, consumer price index number. We can call it as a consumer price index number, right? So a cost met by a specified class of people. So we have different classes of people, poor, middle and rich. Okay, so the cost met by a specified group of people, class of people, in purchasing their basket of goods and services. How much their expenses, the basket of goods and services purchasing means those are all nothing but expenses, expenditures, right? Now in this, how the construction steps for the cost of living index number. Step number 1, purpose and scope. So for what purpose you are calculating this cost of living, that should be very well defined, known. And from which area you are collecting it, that also should be known. If you know the purpose, you will come to know how the items are to be selected, how the price quotations to be obtained. So everything well in advance you will come to know for further calculations. Clear? So that is the first step, purpose and scope. For what purpose you are collecting the, you are conducting the surveys and computing the cost of living index number, that should be known or defined well in advance. And from which area you are collecting it, because I said that cost of living, cost met by specified class of people, right? So different classes of people, so area is also required from where you are collecting the data. From different classes we have mentioned, whether poor class you are collecting the data, or like rich class, or else middle class, what exactly it is to be mentioned. And the second one is conducting family budget enquiries or surveys. So we should conduct some surveys, some family budget surveys, like what all items they are using it, how they are spending it, different classes of people, what is the quantity usage in those items. So these way, where they obtain the price quotations, everything should be taken in that survey, right? And the third one is obtaining price quotations. As you all know that soon after the family income is getting it, is like framing it, then immediately what we used to do, we used to frame one budget, like monthly budget or like weekly budget. For milk, how much I have to spend, for rent how much, for other allowances how much, other miscellaneous expenses what. So everything, one budget you will be planning. For education, how much I have to spend, for fuel, for oil, everything has to be, for clothing, right? For entertainment, all these kind of budgets will be prepared in every common, I mean middle class people. They will be having this kind of budget what to be spent. And next one, last one is methods. There are actually, for computing the cost of living index or consumer price index number, we have two methods. Method number one is aggregative expenditure method. Method number two, family budget method. Aggregative expenditure and family budget method. So first and foremost, the aggregative expenditure method. What it is aggregative expenditure method. In this method, if you look at the formula, it is very similar to the last payers method. In last payers, what weights are being assigned? Base year quantities, right? So in this method, the base year quantities Q naught for various commodities consumed by a particular class of people are taken as weights. I repeat, in this method, the base year quantity is nothing but Q naught for various commodities, various items consumed by a particular class of people are taken as weights. Clear? So this CPI, I mean aggregative expenditure method, is similar to the last payers method. Remember, consumer price index by aggregative expenditure method is similar to the last payers price index method. So look at the formula there. Cost of living index number or CPI equals to summation P1 Q naught by summation P naught Q naught into 100. So just look at the problem now. Items are given A, B, C, D, and the prices under base and current. 2010 is base and 2012 is the current. P naught P1, and the quantities in 2010 Q naught. So those values are given according to the expenditure formula, aggregative expenditure formula. Summation P1 Q naught is required and summation P naught Q naught is required. Just multiply accordingly. P1 Q naught, one column you make. P naught Q naught, another column you make it. So P1 Q naught multiply P1 Q naught 12 into 20, 18 into 15, 10 into 10, 14 into 25. And then P naught Q naught 10 into 20, 16 into 15, 9 into 10, 10 into 25. So after finding the totals of P1 Q naught and P naught Q naught, substitute in the known formula, you will be getting the value. Afterwards, you have to write the conclusion, how much percentage is increases or decreases in the consumer's price level from base to current. Clear? So this is aggregative expenditure method. Just have a look once again, everybody. Notations carefully you take it, P naught and P1 and then Q naught. So P1 Q naught, P naught Q naught as per the known formula. Aggregative expenditure method formula is summation P1 Q naught by summation P naught Q naught into 100. It is very similar to the last payers method. Almost last payers only you are calculating here. That's it. Fine. This is aggregative expenditure method, and do not forget to write the conclusion, because conclusion carries 1 mark always. How much percentage, you know the value of base, I mean base year value is always 100. How much percentage from 100 increasing or how much percentage to 100 decreasing, that has to be mentioned in consumer's price level. So you used to write the output, I mean conclusion, in the previous methods, price level or quantity level or value level, but here consumer's price level from base to current. So this conclusion carries 1 mark. Remember, just have a look once again the problem, everybody. Consumer's price index, nothing but cost of living index, both are one and the same. Using aggregative expenditure method, clearly in the question they have mentioned it is an aggregative expenditure method. So it is like quite similar to the last payers method, this cost of living index or consumer price index. Fine. So here also in the table the columns carries 2 marks, and the formula 1 mark, and the complete substitution and calculation with conclusion 2 marks. So totally it's a 5 mark question. Remember, frequently asked, this consumer price index. So let us see the next method in consumer price index number, which is family budget method. Yes, coming to the next method, compute consumer price index number using family budget method. See guys, sometimes in the question clearly it won't be asked, like it's a family budget method. Few problems, if they want, they will ask, or else just they will be asking compute a suitable consumer price index number for the following data. Suitable one means just look at the data, whether any expenses, weights or anything is given. In such cases where the weights are being taken, considered, there the family budget formula should be applied. Remember, clear? So weights will be given here. Remember, W. So look at the formula first, family budget method. So now this family budget method, see there, in this method the consumer price index is constructed by using weighted arithmetic mean. You know the formula, weighted arithmetic mean, that is summation WP by summation W. That's why I have mentioned clearly there, CPI family budget method is similar to weighted arithmetic mean method. It is similar to weighted arithmetic mean, right? Now in this method, this CPI is constructed by using weighted arithmetic mean of price relatives, the weights being the values of the items consumed in the base year. That means the weights being the values of the items consumed, that is W, consumed, expensed. Okay, consumed in the base year. So here generally the weights, we can take it as W, right? So see the given problem there, items A, B, C, D and the prices of base and current, base 2010 P0 and current 2012 P1, those values are given, and expenses in rupees are given, those are nothing but weights, W. Okay, so first find out price relative P. You know the price relative formula, the ratio of current year price by base year price, which is expressed in percentages. So 12 divided by 10 into 100, 18 divided by 16 into 100, 10 divided by 9 into 100, 14 divided by 11 into 100. This way the price relative values are to be calculated in the column, and later on W and P, price relative, WP, because you know the formula, weighted weighted arithmetic mean formula is summation WP by summation W, where P is nothing but price relative, which we are going to calculate in the column, and WP you calculate it, multiply W and P together, and then find out the total of WP. And already the W weights are given, expenses, that total summation W you need to calculate, and then both the totals you substitute in the known formula, family budget method, that is summation WP by summation W. So where P is price relative and W are the weights. So CPI, the family budget method, is similar to weighted arithmetic mean method, that is summation WP by summation W. That's it. So then after calculating conclusion, what it has to be written, so and so percentage increases or decreases in the consumer price level from base to current. So clearly it is mentioned family budget. Sometimes they will be asking find out the suitable price index number by just giving the data, by seeing the data, what exactly the suitable one. If the weights are given, definitely the suitable one will become family budget, if at all it is asked in consumer price. Otherwise even weights are being considered even in weighted arithmetic mean also, right? Because weighted arithmetic mean and the family budget method both are one and the same. Just look at there, only there P01 or else weighted arithmetic mean AM we will be writing it, but here consumer price index or cost of living index it has to be written equals to summation WP by summation W. Now this is one method. In the same problem, family budget method, sometimes it will be asked group index which is denoted by I. In place of P, I will be taken. So let us see that problem now. Now look at this problem. Same similar problem, compute consumer price index number using family budget method. So here rather than given the prices of base and current, directly the group index will be given as I. So look at there in the table, group index, I values are given. Group index is denoted by I, remember. So 110, 120, 112, 108, 105, these are all I values, and then weights are given directly 3, 8, 4, 6, 9. So what would be the formula when group index is given? Consumer price index or cost of living index equals to summation WI by summation W, where I is nothing but group index and W is nothing but weight. Therefore, after calculating IW, the total has to be calculated, sum of IW, and then that has to be substituted in the known formula, that is CPI equals to summation WI by summation W. Very simple. There instead of P calculation, price relative, here directly group index I is given, that's it. So only one change, summation WI by summation W. After calculating this, write down the conclusion, how much percentage it is increased or decreased in consumer price from base to current. So look at the problem, this once again, group index nothing but I. So in the formula also summation WI by summation W. So generally summation WP by summation W is the main formula, which is like P is nothing but price relative. We have to calculate price relative, that ratio of P1 by P0 multiplied by 100. But here rather than calculating the P, direct group index I is only given. So directly the I value can be substituted in place of P, replaced by I in place of P. Summation WI by summation W. Clear? So this is the question. Now I think 5 mark questions are over. 5 mark questions, I have completed all the 5 mark questions which are frequently asked questions. Now some 1 mark, 2 marks frequently asked questions I will be discussing now in this in the coming video. In this video. So let us see those frequently asked 1 mark, 2 marks, which are very most frequently asked questions. Yes, just look at here, 1 mark, 2 marks frequently asked questions. So how the question will be asked, point wise I will be just explaining you now. First question you see, arithmetic mean of last pays and past years, geometric mean of last pays and past years, something I have written there. Okay, so what exactly the question will be asked is, state the relation between, state means statement wise you are supposed to write, not the formula, remember, very clearly I am explaining now. State the relation between last payers, past years and Dorbish-Bowley. If it is asked, what you are supposed to write the answer? Statement it is asked. Therefore, the relation between last payers, past years and Dorbish-Bowley is the arithmetic mean of last payers and past years is Dorbish-Bowley. So this way the relation has to be written and the statement has to be written. Do not write the formula. After mentioning the statement down, if you write the formula, that is fine. But do not conclude yourself just by writing the formula. That would be the answer for the above question, like state. Okay, so state whenever it is asked, in the statement wise only the answer has to be written. So relation between last payers, past years and Dorbish is the arithmetic mean of last phase and past phase is a Dorbish-Bowley. The same question, state the relation between last payers, past phase and Fisher's. What you need to write? The geometric mean of last payers and past phase is Fisher's. So this way the answer has to be written. The first, whatever I have written, the first point, question and the answers. Second one is, which weights are used? Clear what I am saying? Which system of weights are used in the construction of last payers price index number? So whatever I have written there, last payers, for all those for prices. Look at there now. Last payers weights for price index. Which weights are used? Which system of weights are used for last payers price index number? Quantity base Q0. And which weight system of weights are used for computing past year's price index number? Current year quantity Q1. So whenever it is asked for price index number, the last payer's price, consider the weights as base year quantities, and past year's price, consider the weights as current year quantities. Same way in case of quantity index number, for last payer's quantity index number, P0 base year price are the weights, and for quantity past year's quantity index number, current year price are the weights. Clear? So that is a second point. And the third one is, which test satisfies TRT and which test satisfies FRT? So for TRT, time reversal test, what is the condition for time reversal test? See, last but one question, TRT condition, P01 into P10 equals to 1. They'll ask to write the condition also sometimes. State the condition of TRT, state the condition of FRT, state the condition of circular test. So this way. So TRT satisfies Marshall-Edgeworth, Fisher's and Kelly's. Sometimes in a reverse way, contradict way, the question will be asked. Which methods do not satisfy TRT? What you are supposed to write? Last payers and past years do not satisfy TRT. Satisfied ones were Marshall-Edgeworth, Fisher's and Kelly's. Do not satisfy ones were last payers, past years and Dorbish-Bowley. Remember. At the same time, factor reversal test. What is the condition? P01 into Q01 equals to V01. V01 is nothing but value index number. That is summation P1 Q1 by summation P0 Q0. Okay, so factor reversal test satisfies one and only method, that is Fisher's. Next, circular test satisfies Kelly's method and simple geometric mean. Also it will be calculating simple geometric mean and Kelly's. Next, unit test. Unit test satisfies all the price index numbers, but except simple aggregative price index. Except that method, every method it satisfies unit test, because independent of units we are taking in selection of bases and quantities. I mean base year and current years quantities. So now next one is, last payer shows upward bias. So for this question, what the question will be asked, which method shows upward bias, or the last pair shows which bias. So this way also the question will be asked, biasness of an index number. So that is the question. Now in last page index, base year quantities are taken as weights when the consumption of some of the commodities or items decreases in the current year due to rise in their price or due to changes in habits, tastes and customs, etc. Right? See, last page index is based on generally base year quantities, which gives relatively more weightage for such commodities than needed, and consequently the numerator is relatively large. So last pair shows always upward bias. Remember, base year quantities are weights. At the same time, the consumption of some items decreases in the current year, because in the current year, based on the current year price, the consumption may or may not be decreasing or increasing, right? May increase or may decrease the consumption depending upon the price of the current year, but we are using base year quantities for the current year price. Base year quantities we are using because automatically the consumption will be more than needed, because you are using base year quantities, not the present quantities. Current quantities you are not using, you are using the base quantities, right? So that's why last page shows upward bias. The consumption of the items will become relatively more. So that means base year quantities gives relatively more weightage for the commodities with the current year price, right? Because base year price you had a quantities, with the current year price the base year quantities you are using it. That's why automatically it will be the greater weightage, because present price is high, past price is low. At that time only you have more quantity. Obviously previous quantity with the current year price, the weightage will be more or not. That is why the last page shows upward. But similarly the past phase shows downward, because you are using the current year quantities. So obviously the consumption, the weightage will be lesser than it is needed. That's why it is downward bias. See, as I said, TRT, FRT satisfies all those. But one more thing, last phase and past phase. Last phase shows upward and past phase shows downward bias. Then what about free of bias? Marshall, Dorbish, Fishers, all the three are free of bias, because this Marshall, Dorbish, Fishers considers both base and current year quantities. Like last phase, it doesn't depend on only single, and like past years, these three doesn't depend on only current. All the base and current year quantities are used, are being considered. That's why they are free of bias. Marshall, Dorbish and Fishers. See, Fishers everywhere you are seeing. Fishers satisfies TRT, Fishers satisfies FRT, and then Fishers is a free of bias, and Fishers considers both base and current year quantities, right? And Fisher's method use the geometric mean method. That's why, which is the best average of finding the index number. That is the reason Fisher's index number is called as an ideal index number. This is one more question. Why Fisher's is called as an ideal index number? Fisher's satisfies TRT, FRT. Fisher's uses the best average, which is geometric mean, to compute, and Fisher's is a free of bias, and Fisher's considers both base and current year quantities. That is the reason Fisher's index number called as an ideal index number. And the last question is, why the arithmetic mean would be greater than the geometric mean? Always, because you need to write the statement. Arithmetic mean gives greater weightage to bigger items. This one line writing is more than enough. Arithmetic mean gives greater weightage to bigger items. See, for example, 1 plus 2 plus 1000, 1003 divided by 3. Average can be calculated or not? Value will be more or not? But wherein geometric mean is not like that. It affects. Extreme values, definitely the geometric mean will get affected, but arithmetic mean will not. So that's why arithmetic mean, definitely it gives greater weightage to the bigger items. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 10,000. Obviously the total changes, average changes, everything. Right? But geometric mean is not like that. Arithmetic means greater weightage to bigger items. I hope this is the end of index numbers concept. All the frequently asked question, including 1 mark, 2 marks also have discussed. See, in the next video, few more 1 mark, 2 mark questions which are not frequently asked but asked. 10%, 20% like that they have asked. So such questions also in the coming video I am going to discuss. Clear? So with this I am just signing off this video. Thank you. Have a nice day.